have 4 clinic rooms. We have an instrument room that people can come and take instruments out to use their sessions. We have office space. We have a study space for students to come and work on their sessions and read client records. So we really have, and we're going to have, and we're going to start working on a sensory room for the children who need sensory stimulation. That's one of our next projects, to get some help and some donations and really create a really state-of-the-art sensory room. So I'm very proud and very excited that this has, from that 2 rooms that we had before, expanded, and particularly that our community partnerships are growing so not only bigger and bigger, but more and more beneficially for the community, for our own students and their training, for the university, really for everyone, as we reach out and engage the community in even more ways than we have in the last almost 30 years that I have been here. Yes, I am that old. So, great that you're all here. If you ever have any questions, I'm looking at a lot of my students, but those of you who aren't my students, if you ever have questions about music therapy, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk with you or to email with you if you have questions, as well as the partnership that we're now having with Nate and with Frank. So thank you all for being here. We have food in both places. Please eat. Or I have to take it home.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite James. Would you just say a few words? He's a grad student who is about to graduate, James Heiskell. You can come up front and just tell the audience about your research project. You don't have, yeah.
Well, I'm in my last semester here. First, I want to say thanks to Robin and Professor Crowe and Nate and all of the students that are here today. You've offered us some wonderful opportunities. Also, Dr. Stauffer, too, the head of the music department. So this is coming from twofold. They talked about opening up community outreach, being a launch pad, branching out. I have been here for a limited time. I've been here since 2007. I came as an equivalency student, and I was relatively new to the ideas, but they were able to shape and mold my skills and place me into a position to where I could go out and assist others. So for each of the students that are in the room, this will be a wonderful opportunity for us. We may not necessarily know all of the history of what has gone in to make this an opportunity, but I would encourage you to be a full partner within it. And secondly, as for the research, there are some kids coming from after-school programs, and I'm working with a high school, and there's a Scottsdale Library program too that Nate is piloting along with others. And basically, I'm trying to examine the relationship between math, social competency, and music interaction. So I'm using some of the data from the Mozart effect to try and prove a couple things. Your average middle-class student is being overlooked because we often look at the tail ends, minorities, and underprivileged. And these are wonderful people. But a strategy of pushing people forward is not as good as making sure people don't fall backwards. So people such as ourselves could be labeled at risk for other factors besides being underprivileged or minority. So I'm believing that music interaction, people coming, learning things, leaving with new knowledge and skills, can help to decrease dropout and overall help other people. So that's the focus of the study. And as I said, there's about 50 kids that are involved. There's about 10 that come to this area, and there's a few at the high school and some other things. So I'm really just appreciative of having the opportunity, the mentors and staff who have guided me and given me direction. And yet again, for the parents and the students in the room, we may not know all of the history, but I would encourage you to be a partner within the, not necessarily fight, there's no enemy, but the ability to service those in need. Because if you think about the name of the Community Outreach Center, you can go through those things. Everyone always wants to do the Webster's Dictionary, but outreach and community, we're a community just because we're here, equal among peers. Each person's voice is equally heard and you are respected. Community, building this upon itself, and outreaching, going out there and offering it to those who don't necessarily have it just yet. So each one of us have been blessed with this experience, so I would encourage you to please use it to its fullest advantage and and just continue moving forward as they have done and provided for us. So thanks for your time.
All right. Thank you. So here we are in this community services building, doing our best to serve the community. And I would like Julie to come up, and would you just tell some of the other places that the music therapy students are going in the community? Oh, and this is Julie Murillo, our newest faculty member in music therapy.
I'm the faculty associate for the music therapy program, so I do all of the student placements at the beginning of the semester, and many of those students come here to the clinic. They're matched up usually in a one-to-one environment, often with kids with developmental disabilities such as autism. We also have a number of placements out in the community. We have some students at Maricopa Integrated Health for a medical experience, which is wonderful. We are in hospice environments. We are in behavioral health. We're with Aurora Behavioral Health, which happens to be where my predecessor now works. We are also in a number of assisted living facilities, nursing homes, schools, all the way from grade school up through high school, working in special ed classrooms. So we're kind of all over the place, and our goal is to give our students a really well-rounded preclinical experience. They do 4 preclinicals, 4 semesters, so by the time they're done, they're ready to go into internship because they've got a lot of different experiences behind their belts, and they're awesome. Our students are amazing.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie. All right, it's time for our community partners to come up. Frank, would you like to come up? Sure. Frank.
Hello. Hello again. Yeah, now you've been participating. Yeah. You know, every once in a while, you get a chance to participate into something that is very unique, and it's because the timing is right, the energy is right, and everything is in place. That's happening here. This little story, and I'm going to tie it historically to something, to that little room on the 3rd floor. But about a couple years ago, I had an opportunity after spending some time with Robin, and we kind of hatched this idea that we needed to work together in a special way. The end result of that is today. We dreamt and took advantage of some opportunities as they came up, opportunities that you never know where they're going to come from. And my life is about building community, seeing and feeling unique opportunities and making something of them. I'm endorsed by Remo Drum Company as a drum circle facilitator and as a health rhythms facilitator. And someone at the company, a VP, a physician by the name of Belli, gentleman right here, approached the company one day and said, you know what, some of the senior staff, why don't you guys chat with Frank? He's got some interesting things going on down there in Arizona. And I went up and met with the staff at the company and said, you know what, I've got some interesting things going on with the university. And Remo, being the company that it is, that is engaged in youth education for music and really living the word of being community and rhythmic and community music making, they reached out and said, we'll help you, Frank, get this going. So when you see the Remo instruments around, like the drum in the corner or other instruments that are all around, know that that type of company is behind this. Now, after helping launch this program, and I've been telling folks about it, and I teach West African drumming around town and do drum circle facilitation and things. I used to be a corporate guy. Right? Used to have a briefcase in my hand, and and kind of a pencil neck kind of thing going on. And my kids used to say, "Where's Dad going? Carrying a briefcase? Oh, he's going to work." Now I got little shakers and bells and things on my feet. And, one day my grandkids are going to say, "Where's he going?" "Oh, he's going to work." Right? So anyway, I'm driving up to Prescott 2 weeks ago to do an event. And I'm driving up with a physician from the Mayo Clinic. And we have a mutual friend, and suddenly she says, you know what, I have a son, and I was telling her about this clinic thing we have going on and trying to describe the building that you couldn't see from the freeway, that I passed for 10 years and never knew existed. And then how this ties back to that room is she said, my son is autistic. And he went to that room in that facility, and she said that was the only room up there. And I said, you know what? For me, that is a really good sign that I'm in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. For you youngsters that are here, and I'm old now, I'm over 12. So for those of you that are here that are just getting your dreams and thinking about which way you're going, the path may not always be clear, but never stop dreaming. Because my dream was to create something unique. Because when I was working, and I have worked with the company of Remo, and I run into the support of Robin and Barbara and Kimberly, and we walk into a building that says Community Service Building. We get to build that dream and define what that means here. So as you're coming through this passage and you keep hearing all of us say community, 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 that's what you get to help define through this facility, through your efforts. And in my dream right now is let's help ASU be the unique facility in the music therapy world that when you come through these walls, through that program, through our process, you understand how music therapy can impact a community. Thanks.